So now let's then reopen the meeting and proceed with item 12, the Capital Project Performance Report. Ruth, I'll get to present this, just reiterating the point I made earlier in the meeting. If there are specific questions on particular projects that Ruth isn't able to answer, it may be that we don't have staff in the room to provide answers. We may need to take those answers offline for answer by way of an email or a memo. Ruth, I'll now come to you to present this report, and thank you very much indeed.
Cool. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. So Capital Project Performance Report, this is to the end of July, so it's the first report that you're getting for financial year 22. So you'll see that the current forecast for our core program that is on page 110 is 375.6 against a budget of 408 million. So that's a 92% delivery against our core. Including external funded, we are forecasting a delivery of 95%. So that means we are currently in a carry forward position against the core program. So this is unique for this time of year and does reflect that we've been focusing across all of council on analysis and refinement of forecasts, ensuring that they're reliable, realistic, and does consider risk as well. So what that means as well is that getting that visibility earlier enables us to identify and also act earlier in order to deliver on our committed budget. So to the financial year 22 capital budget, this is higher than what we had in financial year 21. So all delivery units will require a step change in their delivery. And the majority of the additional budget this financial year sits within the Three Waters unit. So they've got over $200 million to deliver this year. So there is commentary on deliverability within the report from pages 111 to 114. We do have the delivery leads, some of them present in the meeting. If there's any specific questions around deliverability, the breakdown per month, so similar to what we provided last financial year, is from pages 115 to 124. So you'll be able to understand how each of those monthly forecasts are made up by delivery unit. So before we go to questions, I do have some additional information over and above what you've got on the report in relation to COVID potential impacts. So on page 131 of the report, you'll see the reason why we would receive cost-related variations on capital projects. Joe's just put up an initial view for you in terms of the potential exposure that we might have in relation to contractor claims. So these are all the projects that are currently in construction. And I do need to say that this is a very initial assessment of the projects that are in construction and that are at risk of cost claims. So this doesn't mean that we're going to get cost claims on all of these projects. It just means that they are at risk. Now, the numbers there are the current financial year forecast for those projects and is not the potential variation amount that we might receive on those projects. So I will talk a little bit around the potential variation amount. And again, this is very pie in the sky, but it is based on some context in terms of what we saw last year. So last year of the projects that we had in construction, we had 46 claims from contractors, and that was a total of 6.5 million in their claims, and that was based on alert level 1, 3 and 4 being 7.5 weeks, and alert level 2 being another 4 weeks. So we've now settled 97% of those claims, and against that 6.5 million in contractor claims, the worst case scenario is that we will have paid out 4.7 million. So that's 72% of what was claimed by the contractors. So in addition to this slide that gives you an initial view of projects that we've currently got in construction and may be subject to a cost-related risk, we've also uploaded on the hub an initial view of the current supply chain risks and issues that we're experiencing on capital projects. So the risks are being addressed by each project, but at a high level being mitigated through early procuring, leveraging local supply and ordering and purchasing materials earlier. So future reports to the committee will provide updates on all this information. So I'm happy to take any questions that you've got now.
So Ruth, thank you. And that's very helpful and very timely to be putting this information in front of us. A first question from me, obviously alert levels 4, 3 and 2 allow for different levels of activity. Have you got any comment on the effect of each of the levels and the length of time we might be in those levels on the sort of forecasts you're putting in front of us at the moment?
So the majority of the variations came in alert level 3 and 4. That was both extension of time claims and cost. There was very little in alert level 2. It was more around health and safety stuff.
Yeah, so if we ended up going from a alert level 4 to level 3, and then, for example, in an extended period of level 2, the effect of that would be expected to be less than a projected a longer time in alert level 4 or 3.
I'm probably not expert to provide you a proper response to that. That would probably need to come from an engineer to the contract.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and thanks for the information that you've provided this morning. It's useful. So moving to questions, I've got Sam and then Jimmy. Sam.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ruth. Look, just one, and it would just be useful to jog my memory. At level 3 last year, were we able to get people out working? I think we did Riccarton Road or Victoria Street or something, didn't we, from memory?
Yeah, we were able to put more projects out there in alert level 3.
So in terms of that deliverability, are you relatively confident that'll be kind of the same this year round? I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but at level 3, it's sort of our expectation we can get people back out there doing stuff while the roads
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep, all of our delivery units are planning for alert level 3 now, so or may have planned in terms of what projects are going to go out. So future reports will provide you, if we are in level 3, what projects have been put back out again.
Yeah, because things like Riccarton Road at the moment, which are there's a significant amount of work being done there. It may speed it up. In fact, having no traffic and the like going down it. So it'd be cool to see how that plays out.
Cool.
All right, thank you very much. Jimmy.
Thank you, Chair. Ruth, thank you so much for your presentation. Because of this item, I sent the email to the Office of CE and the CC to the Deputy Mayor. I have 9 questions, but I just want to confirm, because today is still due to the COVID-19, just confirm 2 issue project, whether you are aware or not. If you are not aware, maybe the offline is okay, but because of particular community concern this issue. First one is on page 112, the major facility bullet point 1, focus on the Hornby Library, customer service, and Southwest Leisure Center. Because previous months, for a long time, always focus on the construction will start from the mid of July, but suddenly this information mentioned will start until the early of next year. So I just want to know what is updated status regarding to the contract of this construction contract awarded. What is the update status? Whether will be the delay for further 6 months?
I'm not sure if Alistair is online. We may need to come back to you with some answers on that, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you. Second one is also committee particular concern, the Horseway Junction Road extension. Because from previous months, for a long time, during the meeting, I asked you or staff, etc., always mention the forecast delivery date, will be in May of 2022, but this time information on page 139 is further delayed to June 2023, which means a delay for 1 year and 1 month. So I just want to know what's the rationale. Why have this further significant delay?
Lynette's online, so she'll be able to respond to that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Kia ora. Kia ora koutou, everyone. Horsell Junction Road, Councillor Chen, was extended in the delivery period for Horsell Junction Road was extended in the LTP. So as Ruth indicated earlier, the last report was to the end of financial year. Between that report and this report, they've been reprofiled and rebaselined to line up with the profile that changed as part of the long-term plan. We are still working to try and finish it to the dates we expected, and we've previously talked to, but we have limited We're being probably more pessimistic in this round of reporting. We're hoping we can bring that back for you over the next few months as we get better information from KiwiRail.
At the moment, still uncertainty regarding to the KiwiRail, the status. I mean, like your two different design, silver design and your signal design, am I right?
So we've always been talking to the fact that we have uncertainty because third parties are delivering this for us. So we're trying to be, we're probably reasonably pessimistic in this round of reporting, but we are hoping over the next few months we can get that better. We're expecting more information back from KiwiRail, one at the end of August when they're supposed to have finished their their civils design, and then again at the end of November when they finish their signals design.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. I'll come to Mike next. Thank you.
Thank you. And actually my question, I guess, is for Lynette as well and around the KiwiRail. And it obviously appears like there hasn't been much progress because it just seems to get pushed out continually. Is this an issue that's happening across the country?
So since last meeting, because you did raise it with us last meeting as well, yes, we've talked to Takaro and the Takaro staff, and unfortunately it is an issue that is being faced by all councils across the country, whether it's for shovel-ready projects or not.
Does this put our shovel-ready project at risk in terms of receiving the money from the Crown?
No, we've been told it doesn't.
Okay. And obviously been this issue going across the country, are the two relevant ministers aware of the issues that councils are facing with KiwiRail?
I've been advised that they are. That said, I am looking to escalate some information up to Dawn to send on, so that's got to happen over the next wee while.
Okay. I just wondered through you, Chair, if it'd be appropriate for the Mayor to write to the two ministers just to express our ongoing concerns with delays to these projects that regard KiwiRail and the impact on what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, I mean, this is certainly something that's been raised before, and it's an ongoing issue. I mean, it's something that I was aware that the ministers were aware of, but if there's not the progress we're expecting, that could be a good idea.
I'm happy to do that.
Great, thanks.
Great, excellent. So let's do that without the need for.
Andrew, you're muted.
Right, I think that's got me unmuted now. Thank you. Mike, thanks for raising that. So we can, I think we can assume that that's going to happen without the need for a resolution here.
To be honest, it would make it easier for me if it's just simply noted, because then somebody will take responsibility for progressing it, and then you can all get copies of it.
All right, let's do that. So if we can get an amendment then to the resolution that just adds a noting provision.
Thank you.
Reflecting that the Mayor will write to the two ministers. Thank you. Okay, so other people with questions. Sarah.
Thank you. It's another one for Lynette. Listen, I've just been advised this morning that our community board meeting on the 1st of September is cancelled. And our last community board meeting was cancelled as well. It was the first day of lockdown. That first meeting was supposed to have the Cumnor Terrace paper for our shovel-ready Heathcote Expressway project. So that'll be a minimum of a month delay in that recommendation. I'm just wondering if you could look at the potential for maybe just getting some informal feedback from the board and bringing it sooner to the UDT committee or something like that, so that, because I'm concerned about delays on that one, and I know that we have some delays over when we can build because of wildlife and those kind of things too.
I can do that.
Yeah, thanks. Andrew, you're muted.
He might be having a couple of issues with his computer.
Why don't you continue, Sam?
Have you got any more, Sarah? Or no? Okay, Phil.
Okay, are you there, Lynette?
Yep, I'm still here.
Yeah. Hey, last time, and I might have missed a little bit. I was a couple of minutes late back. Last time, I know it took a lot of your time and effort because we're under level 4. Contractors were legally allowed to claim for down time or whatever, and they were all playing the game, which is good. Are we going to run down that same rabbit hole again?
So a lot of what Ruth talked to was the basis of what we're looking at with level with COVID lockdown claims. They will all be worked through. They are all being worked through as they were last time by the engineers reps. They're all assessed as to whether they're valid claims, and they're all assessed under the standard contract that we have and in line with the Construction Contracts Act. And we will pay what is fair and reasonable to pay. They are able, for the claims that they are able to, for the costs that they are able to claim. Last time we had a longer run-in to the lockdown, which meant a lot of sites had temporary done in a traffic management site for months. So it looks like can you guys hear me all right? Give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, you were breaking up just a little bit, but you're back now. Sorry,
I've got wobbly internet out here. And I think the kids are online as well, sorry. So last time there was a lot of temporary work done ahead of time so that we weren't living in traffic management sites. This time, not so much. But it'll all be as per the contract and the claim, and our engineers and engineers reps will work through every one of them.
Okay, I thought we were going to somehow modify our contracts a bit last time so we didn't maybe have the exposure that we had previous.
We can't not have the exposure. And I don't think this is a conversation for a meeting. Apologies through the chair. We have to administer our contracts in line with the standard form of contract and the Construction Contracts Act, and that's what we're doing.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So Phil, was there anything else from you then?
No, I'm good, thanks, buddy.
All right, thank you very much. So I've now got Yanni and then Melanie.
Thank you. John Bridgen was going to be invited to give us an update on the Harry Corey.
Now, Yanni, your sound quality is absolutely awful. I might go to Melanie first and then come back to you. You might want to try dropping your video or otherwise going out and coming back in again. Mel, I'll come to you now. Thank you.
Very short and snappy for Lynette as well. It saves me writing an email if I just tell you. Can you send a wee message to our community board about Barrington, Lincoln, Whiteley? I don't know if you've been intending to do that, but it would be just good to get an update to the board as a memo or something like that.
Can do. For the information of the committee, Barrington, Lincoln, Whiteley's being delivered in conjunction with the Lincoln Road PT improvements, so the one project essentially from a contractual point of view.
Thank you very much. Now we're just waiting for Yanni to come back online. Yanni, you're back with us now, so coming to you for your question.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, cool. Parakiori, we were going to have John Bridgman update us at the committee over what was happening there. Have we approached John? I mean, obviously we've gone into lockdown, but I think it would be really good to understand predicted opening date and what the issues are, if there's any issues with it. We just get so little detail on what's actually happening at that place, and I am concerned, given that it's amber.
If you can hear me, and I don't know whether you can.
Yes.
You can hear me, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, you good? Thank you.
Yeah, so we've we'll make an application through the project governance group to get John to attend the next F&P committee to answer those questions, Gianni. So it's in play right now. We're just waiting till we go to the next PGG. That's all.
Could we do it like as a Zoom conference on a Tuesday briefing or something? I mean, rather than, because we were supposed to have it at this meeting. If we wait another month,
yeah, I think to be fair, I mean they will be in lockdown and they will be impacted by the COVID level 4 at the moment. They won't know what the outcome of that is. They were still figuring out the outcome of the last COVID lockdown to date. So there is definitely an impact. There's no doubt. And Mark Noonan, is our project director from our client side team, has been working with them on that, trying to confirm that delay and the impact upon the total delivery. So it's still a work in progress without doubt, but you do need to hear it from, not from us as a team, but you do need to hear it from John Bridgman, and we are making that application. But we can hustle that up if that's what's required, so we'll do that.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is just to communicate to the stakeholders and the public about what's going on as well. Just a second question I had was just in regards to Lancaster Park. I mean, pretty disappointing. We got the closeout report. There was concerns raised that we were supposed to do this. We did a fast track spatial plan to inform the demolition. We're now being told in this report that apparently that some of the stuff we thought was removed as part of the demolition wasn't, and now we've got budget issues and design issues. So I don't know if anyone can kind of speak to that, if we are pursuing any sort of action against the demolition that occurred. I mean, I know we managed the demolition, I think, through VBase. But yeah, I was just quite concerned to read that, given the whole point of doing the fast track spatial plan was to not have that happen.
So the reasons for the current deviations are in the report, but we don't have anyone online at present to answer any specific questions in relation to those exceptions. So we'd have to get back to you on that.
Yeah, so let's get an answer to Yanni on those outside of the meeting, just given that we don't have the staff here. We knew that that was likely to happen as part of this meeting from time to time. So we'll get some answers to you, Yanni, but offline.
Thank you. And just the one that's already been raised, but it is actually in here, which is the corporate budget. And sorry, I'm just trying to find the page number, but it's around that home equity scheme. I did send an email through this morning, Ruth, with the copy with the attachment. I think it's saying here $2 million. I'm just sort of struggling to understand the issue with it. I think it's a $6 million project, and I'm just concerned that we don't have enough visibility of it in terms of our reporting. So I'm just wondering what we might need to do to get greater clarity around that.
I understood that there was going to be a briefing to you about that in September.
Yeah, no, I understand that point, but I guess the point is in terms of ongoing visibility through reporting, we've got a project that seems to have not been implemented and is considerable budget, and we don't have any details on it. Sorry,
so
that's 113, where we're told the commentary relies on key initiatives. Corporate investment spend is highly dependent on progress of housing initiative, 3 million, and insurance equity scheme.
I can look into that. I have all of the exceptions in accordance with the criteria in the F&P. So any projects that are going over time or cost and have a forecast greater than $1 million will end up in this report. I can look into that specific project.
I think it would be useful. I just wonder whether the information in that report on page 113 is sufficient from that unit to actually give us an understanding of what's happening.
So that commentary on page 113 is in relation to deliverability of that forecast, not in relation to exceptions on that specific project.
Right.
Yeah.
So could we add that? I mean, I think it's a $6 million budget line. Could we add that to the watch list?
If I could just step in, Councillor, we're getting the report on the 14th. We'll see the way forward after that. And if it needs to be included in the capital projects report from that point on, we'll do it from there, if that's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it was
very much.
This is a $6 million project that we've had almost zero visibility on since 2018.
Okay, so as Miles has said, this is coming to the briefing on the 14th. There'll be outputs and outcomes from that briefing, one of which could be that we add this to the project to the watch list, if that seems to be the appropriate thing to do once we've got the detail that's coming to us on the 14th. Let's wait for that to happen and move on.
I was trying to understand and possibly improve is the reporting against these sorts of projects. I'm just concerned that the lack of detail on something as significant as this. I mean, I think these reports are excellent. To me, that one seems a bit of a gap. So look forward to the briefing, but I was really trying to understand from a process point of view whether we're requiring sufficient information from the units to really understand what's happening with the money.
Understood. I mean, if it's appropriate for this to be added to the watch list, I'll be very happy for that to happen once we've got the information to the briefing on the 14th.
But it'll all be tidied up on the 14th, and if it needs to be added to the watch list, it will be. Yes,
that's great. Thank you.
We've heard you. Thank you.
Okay, Yanni, anything else from you?
No, that's fine. I'm good, thanks.
All right, thank you very much indeed. Aaron.
Yeah, thank you. Three questions. One is since COVID last year, do we still do contracts the way we used to, or do we now have outs in them so when so if there's another lockdown like now, we don't get stung again?
Just seeing if there's anyone from legal or procurement online.
I can probably put something into that, Ruth, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry to interrupt, Andrew, but for those type of questions, that they are commercially sensitive. I wonder whether we should take that offline. Sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, and I was just thinking that. I mean, if the answer is better given as an offline answer rather than in due to the commercial nature of the question, whether we're better to do that in a different format.
How about I suggest
Sorry, I'd had people in the public ask.
It was actually answered before.
Yeah, Phil asked it exactly the same question
back
about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't the way I heard it, but that doesn't.
All right. Well, I mean, we can certainly get a written answer outside of this meeting if there's a need for that, and I'm sure that's something that we can deal with.
Okay. So then also, and it's kind of a follow-on from one of the first questions was around in level 3. If we go to level 3 like next week, have we made plans that certain work gets brought forward, like when swimming pools or libraries are closed, that work that was scheduled gets brought forward because there's a lot of efficiencies to be had there?
So we're doing planning at the moment in terms of what we can be doing in alert level 3. So I can let Lynette or Helen speak to anything specific in their units.
I mean, I know COVID can be a pain and cost us money, but there's got to be some wins sometimes as well. So someone must be planning where we can save money because stuff's closed. And like Sam raised the point of closed down, so it speeds it up.
And in the last level 3, there were examples of where maintenance work was done at certain libraries and I think swimming pools from memory. There's no reason why, and I assume we would be looking at opportunities to do more of that if indeed we were at level 3 for a length of time that allowed that to happen. Dawn, you might have some comment on this.
Thank you, Chair. To be really clear, we have proven that we have done this work last year. Our teams are already working through what could be done at level 3 on a capital programme perspective, what we can accelerate and what we can't. We will take every single opportunity to claw back time which we'll have lost in level 4, and to accelerate where we can when we haven't got obstacles like cars, etc., on the road. Thank
Brilliant.
you.
Okay, that's fantastic that work's being done. And I wasn't questioning whether we wouldn't do it. It was more a case of just checking it is being done. And then the final one is around shovel-ready projects. Sarah raised one before. Is there some shovel-ready projects that haven't started yet? Because I thought they were all meant to be finished by now. Or is it a new round?
Shovel ready is March 2022.
For completion. So they've got to be 100% completed by then, not started. Is that correct?
So March 2022, I understand, is the water reform funding. So we need to have spent their water reform funding by then, and then Lynette can speak to the shovel-ready transport projects.
The transport projects that we have, which are two, the major cycleways projects in the coastal pathway, they had to start within 12 months of us signing the agreement. 12 months of us signing that agreement isn't up until October. So they have to start.
Oh, right. Right.
Within 12 months of us signing the shovel-ready funding agreement.
Okay. Right. Wow. Cool. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So, Aaron, nothing further from you?
That's brilliant. Thank you.
All right. Thanks very much. Any further questions? I'm not seeing anybody else indicating at this time. Nothing. Who have we got? No, that's so we're done with questions. So we've got a recommendation in front of us, which has been, if we can just, yeah, all right. So we've got a recommendation in front of us, which is to receive the information in the report. And then we've got that note that the Mayor will write to the Minister of Finance and Minister of State-Owned Enterprises regarding delays to Kiwi Rail projects. I'm happy to move that set of recommendations. Do I have a seconder?
I'll second.
Who was that, sorry?
Pauline.
Pauline seconds. So moved by me, seconded by Pauline. Is there any debate? I'm not seeing anybody indicating debate. All right, so I'll put the motion.
Sorry, Jimmy.
All right, sorry. Can we come off the split screen back to the full screen again so that I can see everybody? That would be great. So, Jimmy, you'd like to contribute by way of debate. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Because of this item, I think all our councillors probably we all recognize that's very, very crucial item because most of the key project is in this item. And I'm particularly concerned 3 factors. First one is regarding to the cost, particular for the specific budget due to the long-term, those the COVID-19 pandemic big impact. All those the kind of long-awaited the material waiting for the delivery from the overseas. This is a particular concern. Second one I'm concerned is the same delivery time because from the Kiwi Rail program or from all the kind of the management, the control due to the quite a few the internal external environment has been changed. So I'm very, very concerned. But I still prefer, and also request the staff, whether it's possible, can feedback to us is more kind of clearly regarding to each the project, each is a key problem is key problem, bring to the finance and also the performance, the committee or some other committee. We just focus on this the key issue. How do we working together resolve this problem? Otherwise, suddenly, further delay, and also the particular situation, community group give us the kind of the disappointment regarding to our progress for fulfill all those the the project. This is my particular concern. So cost, the delivery, and also the contact with the Kiwi Rail, or some other contractor. That's most crucial and important. Thank you.
Is there any further debate? So I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Against? Any abstentions? That's carried. Thank you. So now we'll move to item